So next we have the Secretary of Membership for Young Ophthalmology, and sort of the Yoda of Yo coming up. Brad Feldman, you want to come up here and make some introductions? Thanks so much.
He is not that short.
No.
Maybe if I stand up on the step here. And I also want to introduce and bring up Susan Day, who was chair and leader at CPMC for a long time and now is working with the International ACGME. And she's the chair of our SO committee, which is, you'll all get there eventually, which is the Senior Ophthalmology Committee. And we are here to make a very special presentation of something called the Artemis Award. The Artemis Award was first given out in 2014. Artemis is the Greek goddess of the protector and nurturer of the vulnerable. And this award is given to a young ophthalmologist each year, someone who's in training or within 5 years of the starting practice or starting their career. And it recognizes somebody who's gone above and beyond in their caring and nurturing of patients. And this is someone who's either doing outreach, working in their communities, doing patient education, working to correct healthcare disparities. And what we're able to do with this is really recognize someone who's doing these types of activities at a very, very high level. And Susan's going to talk a little bit about who we're giving this award to today, and we're very, very proud of this individual.
Thank you, Dr. Feldman. Just one minor correction. I want you to know that the SOs have asked that your committee be renamed to SOs in Training rather than yes. Welcome. It's great to see you all. It's wonderful to meet many of you and to get to know others of you even more. The Artemis Award has been an award that has grown in the eyes of all of the Academy and is a responsibility as well as a privilege for the Senior Ophthalmologist Committee. This year's award recipient uniquely was nominated not by one organization, but by two organizations. Neither organization realized that the other was in cahoots with this nomination process. Those two organizations are represented by individuals here today, and because of the complexity of having two nominations, I would like to call first on Dr. Randall Olson, the chair of the Moran Eye Center in Salt Lake City, because it was his department that was one of the nominees. Dr. Olson.
Thank you, Susan. We're very proud of Jeff. Jeff was a resident with us, and I get a chance to talk to all the residents a little bit about what they want to do. And when I talked to Jeff, what's your passion? What do you want to do? And it was clear to me that he stated he wanted to be involved intimately in education, and the education for the future and the creation of new and different ways of educating. Now, you don't hear that very often. In fact, as we talked about it, there wasn't really a fellowship to meet this. So we created a fellowship for Jeff specifically to help him in regards to his pathway to have this as his educational mission. Now, you add on top of that, and he's been an amazing advocate and a great education director for us, also his incredible passion for outreach, for the disadvantaged, for those who can't take care of themselves. He now holds the second position, and frankly, he's kind of like the chief of operation for our outreach program, which aggressively takes care of not just many countries scattered throughout the world, but local outreach. We're particularly proud of our model program that we've set up now with the Navajo Nation, for instance, and the logistics associated with that. You add those two together, and here's somebody who is trying to make a difference at a stage, not necessarily in any of the areas that's likely to get you much monetary reward, and yet a desire to go in and step in. And it was clear for us he was exactly the right kind of person for this. And so it was our honor, and I didn't know that U.S. had also submitted his name. But I think Jeff's just an amazing example of someone who wants to make a difference. We're very proud of you, Jeff.
Thank you. I'll ask Ms. Annette Mailer to also come up and speak on behalf of the Utah Ophthalmology Society. It's their state society, and it's an interesting story to see how Jeff's talents complemented their group as well.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be able to speak to the young ophthalmologists today because you probably underestimate your importance in the state societies. Jeff, right off the bat, incredible. I just want to say thank you so much for all of your help. Jeff is proactive in our state society, and he is a leader in ophthalmology. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate all you've done for our state society. And I know if I ever need anything, I can always depend on Jeff to come through. Jeff set up several programs that we've initiated, both legislatively and other, that have been beyond help for our state society, and I appreciate you so much, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Jeff, come on up here. And I'd ask Annette and Randy to come up for some photo ops in a moment. While they're coming up, the world's a big place. There's plenty of opportunity for each and every one of you to win this award next year. And we hope you will, and we know that the world will be better off for it. Dr. Pettey, on behalf of the Senior Ophthalmologist Committee, and with gratitude for all that you do, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to say some words, and then
Sure.
we'll do that.
Thank you. I don't know if you've ever seen a bearded man cry. I think it's going to happen. Like a wet beard is really gross. So, first of all, Annette, goodness, thank you. I can trace back every bit of my involvement in the academy back to a door that Annette had opened when I was a resident. It's incredibly meaningful to see where that path has taken me, and thank you for that opportunity. Tip one, every one of you join your state society. It'll open doors, it'll impact patients in ways that you won't even know. Absolutely join your state society. And then I guess tip number two, if I had one, would be if you can find a place to work where they measure their own success by how successful they help you become, you found the right spot. And that's the Moran Eye Center. I mean, I'm one of many people there who truthfully do exceptional things. And if you can find the spot that, again, they're going to work for you to help you succeed, you're going to end up so much further ahead. And you don't have to feel like you're begging for a job coming out, by the way. You guys are amazing people. You know, I read your personal statements for residency and for medical school. You're incredible, incredible people. You're all high achievers. You've all done amazing things. You've all had great passions. There's one thing that's not in any of your personal statements, and that's that you are going into medicine to get a good job. It's nowhere. It's all about your passion, your excitement, the things that you want to do to impact patients, impact the world, and yet you go through this gauntlet, and by the end, sadly, for most graduates, the only thing that we can really focus on at that point is just getting that job. And those passions, that excitement, those things that you uniquely can give to the world, they're kind of put on hold because you feel like you have to. And I'm here to tell you don't, and you shouldn't. Because no one goes back at the end of their career and says, oh, I wish I would have just had one more half day of clinic. And come about 10 years into practice, you're going to spend the rest of your lives trying to figure out how to get less busy. Because you realize one day, I didn't do the things I wanted to do. So thank you to Moran for making that possible for me. Thank you to the Senior Ophthalmologist Committee. I know Susan's here. I know there's a lot of grayer hairer people in the room. Mark, I don't know if you're on the Senior Ophthalmologist Committee, but you're old. Thank you. But for them to recognize young ophthalmologists, it's incredibly meaningful. The young ophthalmologists, they've opened, again, so many doors for me. They've been partners. It's the one committee I'm on in the academy that I leave the meeting like really glad I went to that meeting. They're so young, they're so vibrant, and it's really just an exceptional experience. So beyond the young ophthalmologists, the Moran, the State Society, so everything I've become, I can trace back to my mom and dad. And they're the two people in the world that look outward. If we had food on the table and someone else needed it, it was gone. We were pissed, right? Like our food was gone. But over and over is looking outward, looking for need. And thank you, Mom and Dad. And I know better than to make her walk up here. I've made a lot of mistakes in my marriage. She probably should have left me a few times. I have 4 children, and that's the most important thing that I do. And, you know, this is her award equally as much as it is mine. So thank you all for indulging me watching a bearded man cry. And don't forget your passions. Don't let them go. Thank you.
On behalf of the Senior Ophthalmologist Committee, congratulations to Jeff Pettey, Artemis Award winner 2017.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.